Right? So my name is Ewauche, and today I would like us to talk about something sexy, real sexy, vaccines and antibodies. So what is a vaccine? A vaccine is a preventative measure that trains the immune system to recognize and bind to pathogenic microbes. And by so doing, we are protected, or rather prevented from infection. So that being said, we shall talk about antibodies. What is an antibodies? Antibodies are responses generated by an etiologic agent, and these etiologic agents can be bacteria, viruses, fungi, or parasites. Now let's talk about the responses. The responses are basically designed to protect us, They can protect us either through neutralization. In this case, the antibodies we recognize and then bind to the pathogen, removing the virulence mechanisms of that pathogen, and at the end of the day they will get neutralized. So we get protection, or the responses could be one, neutralization, the other through creating porphyrins. Yes, the body, the walls of the pathogens can be perforated, thereby releasing the enzymes and other mechanisms responsible for the functionalities of the pathogens to leak out. Water will leak in. At the end of the day, the pathogen will go down completely. And another area where the antibodies can protect us is through a process we call opsonization. Yes, the pathogen can be deceived into, being coated with what we call opsonin. You can liken opsonins to maybe an icing or maybe a sugar coating. That sugar coating will attract the pathogen towards the phagocytes, or the phagocyte, and it will kill. The pathogen will be killed by the phagocyte through a process we call phagocytosis. So we've talked about vaccine, we've talked about antibodies. Now it is pertinent to mention that vaccines basically induce the production of what we call neutralizing antibodies, and neutralizing antibodies are designed to protect us, right? But can antibody harm us? Do you think antibody can harm us? Yes, antibody can actually collaborate with pathogens to cause a devastating effect in our body. Yes, that process is called antibody-dependent enhancement. Now let's talk about something sexy again. Have you heard of anamnestic response? Anamnestic response? Let's say when a child or a baby is giving birth to, that baby is entitled to 3 vaccines at birth. One is hepatitis B, another is OPV 0, and then the other is BCG. And you remember that after 4 weeks, the baby will go for a booster dose. So that immunity generated from a booster dose is what we call anamnestic response. Do you understand? So anamnestic response generates enough antibody threshold, just enough, to tackle any invading microorganisms that will enter into the system. Now, while anamnestic effect or anamnestic response is equally an enhancement reaction, the antibody-dependent enhancement is an enhancement reaction too, because anamnestic response works with the hosts, and antibody-dependent enhancement works with the pathogen. So it gives the pathogen that propensity, that energy, that force, that push, that panache to actually attack the host cell. Do you understand? So antibody-dependent enhancement enhances the pathogen to attack the body, while anamnestic response, works with the hosts and then enhances the antibody threshold so that pathogen cannot enter the system. Just a quick one. Meanwhile, subscribe to my channel.